Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am about to have breakfast and talk to you guys. So, this will be my first time on early in the morning. Yeah, I cooked bacon, eggs, and grits. I don't know if you can see it. Yep, bacon, eggs, and grits this morning. And I'm not even a breakfast person, so I kind of wanted a biscuit from Bojangles, sausage, egg, and cheese, or steak, egg, and cheese, and the bow rounds. But I decided to just cook. Yeah. So, how are you guys this morning? Any of y'all on your way to work or just getting off? Well, as the title says, let's have breakfast and talk about fresh and fit. So, I'm familiar with fresh and fit, but I don't watch their content um, for a couple of reasons. One, um, for one, I just wasn't really interested in them like that. And two, or three, or maybe four, they said some things about Kevin Samuels, and I'm a Kevin Samuels fan. And so you mess with Kevin Samuels or say something about him, you might as well be saying it about me. They said some things about the lead attorney. I'm a lead attorney fan. I went to his meetup and I met him before. He's a really cool guy. So those two people, they both said and did things to them. And both Kevin Samuels and the lead attorney handle it like men. So yeah, I wasn't a fan. Now, granted, I never want anybody to lose their income. Good morning, Dolores. How are you? So yeah, I never want anybody to lose their source of income. So I'm not gonna be laughing or anything. I see a lot of people laughing about it. And they're laughing because of the way those guys handle things. So I'm not here to do that, but I am here to talk about some of the things that I have learned, mistakes I have made, and nowhere was I close to ever being able to make the money they were making. I mean, like, their videos were getting millions and millions of views a month. So you can only imagine how much money they were making. So I haven't got to that point, of course, as you can see. I only have about 30,000 subscribers. But at the end of the day, they had to start somewhere. And Kevin Samuels helped them build their platform. They were on for a while, and every time he would join their platform, people would follow KS or Kevin Samuels, and their channel continued to grow. I watched a video with O'Shea Duke Jackson, and he broke it down. He showed their analytics and how their growth of every time Kevin Samuels was on their show. So he was a big part of their growth. And then they wanted to talk about him. But anyway, I made a video once, probably about a month or so ago, talking about what happened to me in my monetization. I mean, like, for me, it's a dream of mine to be a full-time content creator because I love it. I want to be able to travel and give you guys information, have fun with you guys, and that's just my goal. And when I came close to being monetized, I was so excited because I knew I could only go up from there, right? But stuff happens. And just like Fresh and Fit, I don't think they knew that they were going to be, I don't think they got a warning because some of the other people I'm going to talk to you about, they didn't get warnings either. So it's not just Fresh and Fit. It's quite a few people that I've seen who got demonetized. And this is their bread and butter. And I can remember years ago on YouTube, you can do almost anything. But I think, the more it grows and it gets more, I guess more strict. I wanted to use another word, but they start to follow more guidelines and it changes, they become more corporate like and restrictive. So YouTube is nowhere near what it used to be. So you really have to be careful. There's no freedom of speech. You can't say and do what you want to say on here. And I'm going to go over some things with you guys. Do y'all eat cheese grits? These things are so good. I love cheese grits. I like cheese. I put cheese on everything. I like cheese. But anyway, let's talk about the large channels that have been demonetized. So for me, I'm glad that I found what I found out before it was too late. I've definitely learned a valuable lesson. I had it when I started this channel. One mistake I made was using an old email. So it seems like I've had this channel for years and I haven't. Hold on, let me put this up, y'all. Just kind of rude to eat and talk. Yeah. It was a whole different ball game. The reality, it was a whole different ball game. Like YouTube is nowhere near what it used to be. It's more professional. But anyway, for me, I use the old email address. So it seems like I've had my channel for years and I haven't. And a mistake that I made was, first off, I was following larger channels. And you know, when you're a small channel, you look to the larger channels to guide you, you know. So I was looking at the larger channels and I would see what they were doing. So I enjoy comedy. So I started having Comedy Saturday. And I would see people just post comedy. I did the same thing. So my videos were just blowing up. 50,000 views, 60,000 views, 40,000 views, tons and tons of views. My watch time hours are increasing, and I'm excited, right? Now, before I started posting actively and regularly, I probably had 20 videos almost a year before I actually started doing it like regularly, right? And I did not consider that 1 year. So I don't know if you know about YouTube, but you have to have 4,000 watch hours and you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers before you can get monetized. So I made it to my 1,000 subscribers. I went viral with a lot of stuff with shorts and videos. Like it was just doing it. And so I was excited. Well, I got in trouble for using reused content and not putting enough information in it. You know, I was just using content and I wasn't adding value to it. So that was one thing that caused me to not be monetized. And then all the hours that I had accrued from when I had started in the past, well, my 1 year came up. So I lost all of those hours. I lost all of the hours from when I went viral, everything. So I basically had to start over. So I have 30 something thousand subscribers and I'm not monetized. So that was one of the valuable lessons that I learned, in which I'm glad I learned it early because I could have been another Fresh and Fit. Well, you know what? I'm going to claim it. I can get to 1 million, but I could have been another Fresh and Fit, learn that lesson during that time. So I learned my lesson at on a small scale. So that's one thing I'm thankful for. So I would advise anybody, if you're gonna start a channel, start it brand new. Don't use the channel that you've used before. Don't use email addresses that you've used before. You always just start fresh from day one. And yeah, so those are some of the things that I learned. So with Fresh and Fit, if you guys don't know, they have 1.49 million subs. Yes, 1.49 million subs, and they are demonetized. I mean, can you imagine? Man, 1.49 million subs. And they are the latest big channel to be demonetized. And like I said earlier, I wasn't a real big fan because they said things about Kevin Samuels and the lead attorney, which are two greats that I really admire and I follow. So I didn't care for them. They made fraudulent claims against the lead attorney, saying that he was using their content or whatever. So they were trying to get him taken down because with copyright strikes and stuff. Like they did a lot of bad things to people, right? So you may be able to say, that's karma because you can't just do things to people. And so, and I remember one time on one of their shows, somebody pulled a gun out on the show on somebody, like they didn't just like have it out looking like it was like an altercation, and they literally had gun, like they were ratchet, like the Fresh and Fit After Dark was ratchet. And so, I mean, it was bound to happen. I mean, they had done a lot of things. So it was bound to happen. So they have taken a significant hit in income, and it's a very, very hard lesson to learn. And like I said, I don't wish anybody channels to be demonetized or anybody to lose money, but this was a hard lesson, a very hard lesson. So as I've been scrolling through the YouTube streets, I've seen channels like Abba and Preach, Charles in Charge, the Angry Man channel, Anton Daniels, O'Shea Duke Jackson, Mediocre Tutorials, Tanya TKO, Legion of Men, Destiny Eclipse. Those are just to name a few of the large channels that I follow and that I've heard talk about this. And I mean, some of the stuff they're saying is kind of hilarious, but nobody's really wishing ill will on them. A lot of them understand that it was coming. A lot of them are aware that Kevin Samuels actually predicted it. Yeah, so he's not even here, but he predicted that. And a lot of them are coming with the receipts. They're not just saying anything. Like I said earlier, O'Shea Duke Jackson, he showed like the numbers of how much growth they had every time Kevin Samuels was on their channel. So he had a really good breakdown. But one thing I kind of noticed with the patterns, because I'm going to talk about some other big channels that have been demonetized. But one thing I've noticed about YouTube and with these channels that are being demonetized, they're not getting a warning. They're just getting that email saying your channel has been demonetized. So I'm assuming that that 1 year is coming up, because just because you get monetized 1 year, like you have to continue to have those 4,000 hours. You have to continue to have the 1,000 subs, which we know a lot of them aren't going to lose their subs like that. But they still have to produce that 4,000 hours of watch time by the time their year rolls around. So most of what everybody has in common is they're not being warned. They're just getting that email. So that's scary. Very, very scary. And so other channels who have been demonetized is Night Talk. He's one that I follow. And I would do shorts, watching him do his shorts. I would do shorts like, and he got demonetized. Now, granted, I'm not really convinced that his was legit. Like, it seemed like his announcement about it was kind of staged. But when I went on his channel and I saw his content and how much he was putting out now, he's not putting out as much as he used to. So I'm kind of iffy on that. But in the beginning, I did not believe that he was actually demonetized, because he didn't really act like he was. Like, if this was his bread and butter, like, he didn't really act like it. So I kind of felt like that was staged. But again, looking at his content, he's not pushing it every day like he used to. So could be true. And Night Talk had 387,000 subscribers on that particular channel. When he talked about the demonetization, his wife or girlfriend, I just say his partner, was in the room, and she was like, the big channel? So I'm going to assume he has multiple channels. Who is this? Oh, okay. So I'm going to assume he has multiple channels. He has really good content. So if you don't follow him, check him out. But anyway, Night Talk has 380. He probably may have more by now, but he has 387,000 subscribers. And like I said, I felt like it was staged, but looking at how much he's putting out now, he's not putting content out every day. And then you have Connie Ramos. She has 45,000 subscribers. She's a smaller channel. And her channel was demonetized, she said, for harmful content. And again, she wasn't warned. She just received that email and it was saying, you're demonetized. Now, when I went on her channel, she has like a smoking channel. She smokes cigars and cigarettes and things. And I'm like, you might not need to do that. So that's a little odd to be sitting up there smoking cigarettes and stuff like that. Now, granted, I like a little stogie, and I think I know cigars and cigarettes are in a whole two totally different categories. But she was one who was demonetized as well with no explanation. It was, and another thing I've seen a lot of them have in common as well is they have the option to appeal. Now, I don't know if this is going to be Fresh and Fit's situation or if it just completely got like it's no appeal, and I don't know. But I do know with Connie, yeah, with Connie Ramos, she had the option to or the opportunity to appeal after so many days. Then there's Derek horror stuff. He does like a lot of behind the scenes of horror movies and stuff like that. And he has 11.4 thousand subs. That hurt my feelings knowing I have like double or triple of what he has and he's monetized. But anyway, he's a little smaller and he has been demonetized twice for reusing content. And he said he was aware of the process because it's happened a couple of times. So he wasn't really nervous about it. He just followed, whatever the instructions are to appeal, and he was used to it. Then you have Alana IRL. She has 3 channels. One channel is a gaming channel with 500,000 subs. Now she has 3 channels that were demonetized. What the freak? 3 channels that were demonetized, y'all. 3 channels. Can you imagine that? 3 channels demonetized. So her gaming channel has 500,000. She has another streaming channel. I don't know how many was on that one. And then Alana IRL that I was on, she has 81,000. So she has like a lot, but she says she doesn't make a lot of money. So she has a large subscriber following, but she's not making. She said the gaming channel only brought in like $700 a month. I don't believe that. Like, really? That's crazy. So her 3 channels were demonetized, and think about this, guys. The channels are being demonetized, and if they have memberships and anything else, all of the other stuff that comes with it, the memberships, the AdSense, everything that has to do with YouTube, when they get demonetized, that's a wrap. They lose all of that. So she said she lost all of that. Now, the only thing with her is she was going through some kind of account change. I guess she shared with somebody because I don't really follow her. I was just looking for larger channels that had been demonetized. So as I listened to her story, she was like getting an account, she was transitioning over to putting the account in her name. So that's how she lost a lot of hers. But that's still a freaky, scary feeling when all 3 of your channels at the same time are demonetized. Yeah, that is crazy. Who else? Oh, so then Nick Nimmin. So if you are a new content creator or considering starting a channel, Nick Nimmin is the man to follow. He teaches people what not to do, what not to do and what to do to grow your channel. And according to Nick Nimmin, he had 889,000 subs. He says you don't need to do. Uh, he said, don't do this if you don't want to be demonetized. And he shares information that helps people succeed on YouTube. And everything I'm about to talk about, guys, the only way you're going to hear this is if you watch the whole video. That's the only way you're going to hear it. So anyway, these are the things that you don't need to do if you don't want to get demonetized. And keep in mind, you can't have this within the first 8 seconds. So when your video comes on, if any of this and maybe more is in your video before 8 seconds, you could potentially be demonetized. So one thing is profanity, hard profanity, some sexual content, implied moments of death. And he explained that he was saying, like, if it's a game or something, or maybe a movie or a clip, if it implies death within the first 8 seconds, that's a no-no. So you may not see it, but if Jason was chasing somebody and got ready to cut their neck off, and like right before he cut the neck off, it goes away before 8 seconds, that could cause you to be demonetized. Gameplay where there is a gory injury or recreational drug use. So you have those gaming channels. So if any of that happens within the first 8 seconds, it's a chance that you could be demonetized. And even in general, any type of recreational drug use, talk, or injuries can cause that. So it doesn't just have to be a game. If you do it yourself, that can happen. Some forms of pranks, like maybe a prank at a store, robbing a store, because that can give somebody an idea. So certain pranks can get you demonetized. And it says all new YouTube policy community guidelines will be enforced on prior content. So when they update something, like when YouTube updates their community guidelines, that goes for all of your content before they updated it. Yes. So if for 2 or 3 years you've had a channel and you've had stuff, profanity, gory stuff, implied injuries, all of that, your channel could be potentially demonetized. So you have to go through and either unlist it or make it private, delete it or something. Yeah. And I don't think that's fair that it will apply to what you did before. But that's what Nick Nimmin says, and he is like the guru of YouTube. And I suggest anybody who has a channel, a new channel, or contemplating starting a channel, go to his channel and see what he has to say, because he has a lot of good stuff. So yeah, my bad. I feel bad for Fresh and Fit. I hate they're going through this. But and one of them, y'all, Tanya TKO was like, Tanya TKO said the one that was crying had on some Hoochie Daddy shorts. He had on Hoochie Daddy shorts. But yeah, I mean, you can't help but freaking cry when you know your whole source of income is gone. When you're making $200,000, $300,000 a month. Like, I would beg to differ and say it's more than that. And when you're making that kind of money and it's just snatched away from you with no warning, you have based your entire life on your channel and it's taken away. You didn't get a warning, you didn't get anything. It's just taken away. Like, can you imagine? Like, that's just like losing a job. That's just like losing a 6, 7 figure job. So you really have to take these YouTube streets serious because it's serious. So yeah, my bad to Fresh and Fit, but they did a lot to people. And again, TLA is a good guy. The lead attorney is a good guy. And then they were trying to say that he was using their content. And he does his own content. But anybody who they had animosity toward, they would do whatever they could and lie to YouTube about them. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, again, if you guys are contemplating starting a channel or you have a small channel, always stay up on the community guidelines. I know it's a lot when they send that information out to you in those emails. It's a lot to read, but read the highlighted parts, and you should be good as far as like knowing, having an example of what the new changes are. And if it's something that kind of appeals to, or something that your channel is involved with, definitely want to read everything in between it. So you don't have to go through what I went through. Like I said, I followed some of the larger channels. I did some of the things that they were doing, and I didn't get approved to be monetized because I did some of the same stuff that they're getting demonetized for. So hopefully Night Talk will get his show back. Who did I say? Night Talk. I don't know what's going to happen with Fresh and Fit and Connie Ramos. I think she's just going to have to scale back and not talk about cigarettes and stuff like that. Derek's horror stuff, he's aware of what he's doing. He's not surprised. And Alana, like I said, her 3 channels that were demonetized, one with 500,000 subscribers, she was kind of like undergoing a change. So I think she has all of her information changed over and updated, and she should be back on track. But she had all 3 of her channels demonetized at the same time. So, yeah, guys, I'm always open. So feel free to comment and let me know some things that I can do to get my hours back, because I had to start completely over. And so I push content every day, but I didn't get monetized because I use reused content, and that's one of the things that Night Talk was demonetized for. And again, I was following a lot of the larger channels doing what they were doing, and I learned my lesson early on. It still hurts that I have the subscribers just don't make the money, but I like pushing out content, so I still push it out every day, multiple times a day, because I really enjoy doing it. So I'm just waiting on my opportunity for YouTube to say, I'm going to push a few more of her videos out. I see that she's making changes, so I'm just waiting for that day when they just push it out. So you guys, please make sure you like, share, comment, click the notification, everything, to help me get my hours up. So yeah, so watch some of this stuff and listen to some of the stories that everybody have to say in regards to Fresh and Fit. And a lot of people didn't like Night Talk. I didn't know that. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like Night Talk. So if you know any of these people that I talked about, Night Talk, Derek's horror stuff. If you like horror stuff, I like horror books. I don't watch a lot of horror movies. but Derek Harbour stuff is a good one. And Alana IRL, I don't know what she talks about. And they, like I said, these people right here are larger channels that we're talking about Fresh and Fit. If you look on the YouTube streets, you will see that these people are talking about them. Abba and Preach, Charles and Charge, The Angry Man, Anton Daniels, O'Shea Duke Jackson, Mediocre Tutorials, Tanya TKO, Legion of Men, and Destiny Clip. So these are some of the channels that I follow. They have really good content, so check them out as well. And thank you guys for having breakfast with me, Dolores and The Reality. Thank you guys for chatting, sending me a chat. And all of you who were in here this morning. This is my first early morning live. I had breakfast, orange juice, and I'm going to make some content. What am I going to make content over? I saw something about Shannon Sharp, and I saw a couple of things about the Brat. But anyway, I'm going to make some content. So yeah. So y'all make sure you go check out my content and help me get my hours up so I can get monetized. And I will see you in the next video and maybe a live this weekend or something. I don't know. But you guys have an awesome day. And I thank you so much for checking in with me on my first morning live. Bye.